much money did I spend total? 1,600. So my second equation has to equal 1,600. How much does type A cost? 200. So we say 200 x plus type B is 300. 300 y. Do you kind of see how I came up with those equations? Because I think that's the hardest part of this. Okay, so now we have a choice. You can either solve this by graphing, substitution, or elimination. Here's my question about the graphing part, if you wanted to graph this. Who wants to graph 300 or 1,600? Anybody? Anybody got graph paper that big? So I would count out graphing when you have huge numbers. In my opinion, substitution for this would be easiest. Because elimination, if I added them together, I have to multiply one of them by a really big number. So I'm going to do this by substitution. If you want to do it by elimination, that's fine. I'm going to get y by itself by subtracting x from each side. And I get y equals negative x plus 7. So now I'm rewriting my second equation, but everywhere there's a y, I'm going to put negative x plus 7. Okay, is everybody with me so far? Kind of remembering substitution a little bit? So now I'm going to distribute that 300, and I'm going to get 200x minus 300x plus 7 times 0 is 0, so that's 21,000 equals 1,600. Now I'm going to combine like terms. 200 minus 300 is negative 100. Remember, if you can't read my writing or I drew it too sloppy, please let me know. Yes? Oh, is this sign confusing you? That's a plus. Better? Okay. So I'm going to subtract 2,100 for both sides, which gives me negative 100x equals 0, 0, 5, negative 500. Divide both sides by a negative 100. And what is x going to equal? 5. Am I done? What have I not found? I found x, I need to find y. So I'm going to take that top equation because it looks the easiest to me. And I'm going to say 5 plus y equals 7. So what does y equal? 2. So I sold 5 of type A violin and 2 of type B violin. You really got to write every single thing I write on the board down. If you do that, your problems for your homework will be real easy. And I'm going to tell you your quiz on Friday. Any story problems I take, I'm going to take straight from the notes so you've seen them before. Okay. Let's look at example 2. You're combining two solutions to form a mixture that is 40% acid. One solution is 20% acid, the other solution is 50% acid. If you mix 90 milliliters of the mixture, how much of each solution was used to create the mixture? Okay, so we got two solutions. I'm going to call them X equals first solution, Y equals second solution. Okay, the first thing I'm going to look at is how much solution was their total. Not acid percent, but how much was their total of my new solution when I mixed them together. 90 milliliters. So my first equation is going to say x plus y equals 90. Okay. How much acid was in the first solution? 40%. So I take 0.4x. 40% is the same thing as 0.4, right? How much was in the second solution? Oh, no, not 40%. 40% was the total. 20% was in solution 1. How much was in solution 2? 50. So 0.5. And then I know my total is 90, but I'm going to multiply that by 0.4 so I know how much acid is in it. So the first thing I'm going to do is find out what is 40% of 90. So I'm going to change this to 36. Is everybody okay with it? Everybody gets how I got 36? I multiplied it by 90. 40% times 90 gives me 36. Okay. So what would we like to do? Do we want to try elimination for this one? Okay, let's just decide. Which one do we want to eliminate, x or y? Pick one. Huh? You can't eliminate the whole problem. Which letter do you want to get rid of? Okay, so we're going to multiply this first equation times what to get rid of y? What would it have to be when I add them together? 0.5y plus what gives me 0? 0.5y plus what gives me 0? Negative 0.5. Okay, so I get negative 0.5x minus 0.5y equals, what's half of 90? 45. Negative 45. Okay. Now I'm going to add the blue and the green one together. Negative 0.5 and 0.2, I'm going to be left with negative 0.3x. The y's cancel each other. It equals 45 and 36 is 9. Going to divide both sides by negative 0.3. Which is going to give me 30. So I've got 30 milliliters of the first one. Okay, so I'm going to plug it back in to that original blue equation. And I'm going to say 30 plus y equals 90. So how much is y going to be? 60 milliliters. And then you plug 30 back in for x, so you have 30 plus y equals 90. Okay. Let's go to example 3. All right. Job A offers an annual salary of $30,000 plus a 1% bonus of sales. Job B offers an annual salary of $24,000 plus a 2% bonus of sales. How much would you have to sell to earn the same amount in each job? Okay, So we're going to call job A equals X, job B equals Y. Okay? So what is the annual salary for job A? $30,000. Plus I don't know how I want to write this. There are two different ways to write this. Okay. I did this wrong. Your book does it differently. X equals sales. Y equals total money with sales. Okay? So you earn $30,000 plus 1% of sales. That equals your total. Job B, you get $24,000 plus what? How much do you earn for each sale? 2%. 0.02x equals your total. Okay, when I see this and they're both equal to y, I'm like, oh, I'm doing substitution. Because it's super easy. I might also say when it's equal to y that I want to do graphing, but I don't want to graph 30,000. So I'm going to take this whole thing right here and plug it into y right there. So I'm going to write 30,000 plus 0.01x equals 24,000 plus 0.02x. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get the x's all on one side. So I'm going to subtract 0.02x from both sides. And I get 30,000 minus 0.01x equals 24,000. Now I'm going to subtract 30,000 from each side. And I get negative 0.01x equals negative 6,000. And then I'm going to divide both sides by a negative 0.1. So this is where I take out my calculator. And I get 600,000. Is x. Remember, my last step is I've got to plug it in to find y. I'm just going to do it to the first one. So I'm taking 30,000 plus 0.01 times 600,000 equals y. And I just plug that into my calculator, and I get 36,000. So there's my y, here's my x.